and you make me feel like a rebel, but I will not give you a reason to destroy me more and more again and again.
Okay, I'm going to do like a really warm brown smoky eye. So I'm going to use this Morphe palette. This is in the 35O. So I think I'm going to use like these kind of tones here. I'm going to start off by using this brown and I'm going to put it into my crease. Okay, so I just done one eye on Snapchat. If you're not following me on Snapchat, you need to follow me, girl. I'm going to use this brush here. This is my all-time favourite. Let me know if you want to see a favourite brush video, because I can do that on YouTube as well. So this is the MAC 217 and I'm going in with this middle shade here. Okay, bye-bye naked eye. So I'm going to start off... turn the brush around. I'm going to start off by doing this corner right here. And I'm just going in circular motions because I want it to be really, really blended. So basically I'm trying to build up depth first and then I'm going to work on making it look blended and fleeky. So I go back and forth and basically I want to try to make this look deep and then it's going to slowly go into the crease here. God damn, it's so hot in here, man. Fucking hell. These Morphe eyeshadows are amazing. They're so soft and blendable and so cheap. I'm just going back and forth into the crease now in windshield wiper motions. I'm going to stop here because I'm starting to get a very harsh line and ain't nobody want no harsh lines up in here, hunty. So I'm going to use my trusty 224 from MAC and I'm going to pick up this shade right here and this is going to be your transition shade. So just going in, we're going back and forth, blending this sucker out. So I don't know if you guys can see, but it basically is a little shade a bit darker than my skin tone. So basically it goes from your skin, your transition colour and then your crease colour. Make sure your brush is never still or never in the same spot too much. You need to keep the brush going back and forth, circular motions. If you're finding that your eyeshadow isn't blending properly, you need to make sure you use a translucent powder first as a base on your eyes after your concealer, and then when you put your powder eyeshadow on top, it'll blend really good. So I don't know if you guys can see, but it's really blended, but now the depth has gone in the crease. So I'm just going to go back in with my 217 brush, the brush that we used earlier, and I'm going to pick up the same shade again, this middle colour, and I'm going to put it back in that same spot. So I'm basically just doing the exact same move as we done the first time round, but I'm just building back the depth. And basically I like to do it in this order because I find that my eyeshadow lasts a lot longer. If I just done my crease and then this, the colour will fade throughout the day, so I want it to last all day. You feel me? I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm using both brushes. I'm just going back and forth to make sure I'm not adding that harsh line again, because then you have to do the whole process and keep doing it. So you want to just add a little bit on this with the 217 and then go back in with the 224. So you use it simultaneously together. I feel like a proper YouTuber. On this eye, I made it a lot more orangey and this is a bit more peachy. I'm just going to go in with this eyeshadow right here and it's like a bright orange matte shade. So I'm going to dip a bit on my 224, very lightly because it's so pigmented. And I'm just going to buff. Okay, so next up I'm going to blend out my bottom lash line. I'm going to go back in with this middle shade here. It's such a nice warm brown. Just on my Sigma brush is this. E32. And I'm just going underneath my lash line, making it really nice and smoky. So I like brushes like this because they're not too small. I find when they're too small you'll get a really itty bitty line, whereas I want it to be quite blended. So the bigger the brush, the bigger the hole, the bigger the brush, the bigger the blend will be. And I want this to kind of fade out and have that orange kind of rim around it. So I'm going to go back in with this trusty matte orange shade with my 224 again. Just a few dabs, remember, don't get too much. And then just underneath, I'm just creating a soft veil of orange. It's just basically so the top still connects with the bottom. And then, because I want this bit to be a little bit smoky, I'm going to go with a slightly darker shade. I'm going to use this bottom one here. And then I'm going to apply this close as I can to the bottom lash line. Next, I'm going to use my Makeup Forever Aqua liner, and this is in the shade M60. So it's just a really nice warm brown, and it's waterproof as well, so that's good for me. In my bottom waterline here. You don't need to be too neat with it because we're going to smudge out anyways. We're just kind of using it to create a bit more depth to the eye. So a lot of people leave their eyeliner like this, but I find it makes your eyes look little piggy eyes. Blend this motherfucker out, okay? Back in with my Sigma brush. And I'm using that dark shade again, just here. Buffing out that bottom eyeliner, so that it's not just a harsh line. I still want it to look faded. Apply on the orangey shimmery shade on my lid here. If you want to keep this look a bit more simple, you can just leave it like this and just apply on like a nude eyeshadow. But because I'm a bit more feisty, I'm going to go for this orangey shade here. This is really nice because it's super metallic and so pigmented. Do you see that swatch? So buttery. One swatch, guys. Yes. I'm not going to waste that swatch. I'm going to apply it straight on my eyes. Should I do that? I'm not going to apply it onto my eyes because that's being cheap. So I'm going to use a brush. This is the MAC 242 brush. And I'm just going to dust away the product so it doesn't drop down everywhere. So whenever I pick up more product, I always start on the inner corners. And I pick up more and more product slowly and add it here. So here is really intense and then it slowly fades out. And then when I have less product on my brush, that's when I start to blend these two shades together. Because I don't want it to look like shimmery and then matte. I want it to look like shimmer, slightly shimmery and then matte. You feel me? Okay, so next step, I'm going to use my Motives Gel Black Eyeliner. This is called Little Black Dress and is one of my favourite gel liners. And I just got this random brush from a random art shop. So if you guys are looking for a good eyeliner brush, just pop to your local arts and crafts shop and just choose any of their brushes because they're really nice. They're really small. Like, look how tiny this is. Super tiny, and it was only like £2. For eyeliner, I always use my pinky finger to rest on my face, and that helps me balance out my hand. Okay, so your hand's not like wiggling like this. So I just rest my finger and I put as close to the lash line as possible. Small little strokes to make sure my lash line is really dark. Going in for my inner corners and just moving the brush along slowly to make sure the line meets up. And then I also like to go back on myself as well. If I feel like it's a bit bumpy, I just twist my brush around and I go back in on myself and that gets the line really smooth. Okay, so I'm going in with my NYX Black Liquid Liner, and this is really nice because the brush is super skinny. And I like to use this on my flick. Brush out of the tube, you need to make sure you always take off the excess. So the brush is really nice and slim, ready for your flick. For your flick, I always rest on my pinky finger again. And then I start on the top. And then I take my brush off slowly. And then afterwards, I join it from the bottom up so that the two lines meet. And then I just fill it in. It looks simple, but practice makes perfect, guys. In my Tarte Man Eater mascara, this mascara is amazing because the brush is really thick but separating at the same time. It's a new favourite of mine. Okay guys, to finish the look up, I'm going to finish off with some falsies. These are Vegas Nay and Eylure collaboration, and it's in the style Grand Glamour. Look how nice and full these are. Okay, so when putting on my lashes, I put on the middle first, then the corners, and then I look down to the side, and I make sure these are pushed in because you don't want your eyelash to ping off, you know? To do lashes, you need to make sure you just tap and make sure it's all completely stuck on, because I've done it before where this and this has been stuck on but the middle bit has been holding on for dear life. On my lips are these two shades. I'm going to mix them together. This shade is called Americano and this shade is called Miami Fever, and this is the one in collaboration with Kathleen Lights. So I'm going to use these two in conjunction with each other. So I'm going to use Americano first all over, and in the centre I'm going to apply on Miami Fever. I love the formula of these. They're so moussey and they wear off really nicely. Like, I hate liquid lipsticks that just look all crusty here. Whereas these, when you eat, it just fades off nicely. It doesn't look like a big bum hole on your lips, you know? Okay, so I'm just going to go in with Americano first. This is like a deep brown. And I'm just going to do my Keeper's Bow first to make sure it's really nice and defined. So I'm leaving the middle of my lips all blank, ready for the next colour. So this is Miami Fever from Ofra Cosmetics again. And this shade is a little bit lighter and a little bit more orange. So I think it will go with the makeup really well. And I just put this in the centre. And I block my lips. I'm going to finish this look off with just a little bit of glitter on the inner corners because I feel like it's a bit too matte. So I'm going to use this glitter. It's from Ardere Cosmetics and it's in the shade True Gold. And I'm just going to apply it on the inner corners. One of my favourite glitter adhesives is from LA Splash. I think they repackaged this now, but this is really old, but I love it. I'm trying to scrape everything I can out of it. So I'm just applying a little bit on my inner corners. And with my Morphe 433 brush, I'm going to dip a bit of that glitter and apply it straight on my inner corners. I love glitter so much. It just makes everything so much better. Okay guys, I'm just finishing off this look with this NYX Matte Finishing Spray. Whoosh! I'm just going to finish off my hair with this big sexy hairspray to give my hair a bit more volume. Okay guys, I hope you liked my first ever YouTube video. If you guys liked it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe for any further videos. And if you're not following me on Snapchat, I do Snap tutorials all the time, so there's a little plug in there. Comment down below what you want to see in the future. Let me know. Favourites, tutorials, Snapchat Q&As. Hit me up guys. And make sure you follow me on my social media as well. It's just xThuyle on Snapchat, Twitter and Instagram. See you guys later. That wink. It's like... That's a bit cringy. Down below and make sure you subscribe. Okay, hopefully I've got a good clip somewhere.